It's a Kenworth. It's a Kenworth truck.
Like many other 8-year-olds, Jake absolutely loves trucks. And luckily for him, Jake's home is in the grain and sheep farming district of Lameroo in South Australia's Mallee, where there's always trucks rolling by. For this country kid, it's the best place on earth.
I can hear trucks from ages away and I can tell what truck it is. What exhaust they also have. And the engine. Because some trucks have different engines. There's a rubbish car coming.
Hey there, I'm Sophie Landau and I'm visiting the tight-knit community of Lameroo, home to about 800 people, including Jake and his family. For Jake, this community is much more than just a hometown. It's also his classroom. The adventurous, spirited and quirky youngster is autistic, has ADHD and dyslexia. Jake was living in Tailem Bend, about an hour east of Adelaide, when he started school. His mum, Rachel Hawkes, says he had a pretty rough start.
He struggled with the difference of kindy and school, where kindy you can go in and out and school you need to sit at a table. So he really struggled there. And then we went to a different school and he just didn't want to go anymore. I would take him and he would be screaming and I would have to pull him in and he would be pulling away and then the front office would be holding him in and it was just awful. It was so emotional.
Nothing helped until he began homeschooling with his mum and grandmother Jodie Hall in August last year.
After we left school, it took at least 2 months of what they call unschooling for Jake's anxiety levels to drop enough that he could even look at a book. Every time he looked at a pencil or a piece of paper, he would just fall apart. So we had to unschool him and then slowly build up and do what he wants to do.
Jake is one of hundreds of Australian children who refuse to go to school, or rather they can't because it's too emotionally overwhelming. A play-based and child-led approach to his education has changed everything.
When he was at school, he couldn't read. He left school when he was in year 2 and he still couldn't read a story or read anything, but now he can read and he can type, so it's a huge difference. If he can learn in a home environment where he's safe and he feels a lot calmer and in his own time where he can have lots of breaks, he just takes off with his learning. He has gained so much more than what he ever did during school.
And that safe environment has been Lameroo, the friendly farming region about 2 hours east of Adelaide near the Victorian border. Family friends Sarah and Nathan Chapman bought the local cafe late last year.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
So, with no ties to Tailem Bend, Jake's family moved to the tight-knit community. The Lameroo Country Kitchen became Jake's base for learning. His maths education is adapted for his needs with a playful dice tower and calculator.
14.
14. Oh, look, you're right.
And he follows his interests and curiosities.
Trucks are his life and he will talk about every single one that passes. So we focus on the trucks and that covers everything, maths right through.
His grandmother, Jodie, is neurodivergent, and so are the cafe owners, Sarah and Nathan, and their children. With a diploma in early childhood education, Jodie's a support worker for one of their kids, as well as guiding Jake's learning. And Jake's mum, Rachel, works at the cafe.
They're extremely supportive here at the cafe and we could not do this without them. So it's quite a village with home education.
There's no bakery in town, so cafe co-owner Sarah says their spot is packed every day.
The coffee shop is the heart of the town and we want to make sure that our place is somewhere safe that people can come in and have a chat.
43,000 Australian students are homeschooled for a variety of reasons. For Jake, mainstream education isn't the aim.
When I'm allowed to move around, I'm happy.
While most children his age are in class, Jake's playing in front of the silos. Some trucks might come past soon. Better get into prime viewing position. He picks up fallen branches and whacks them into a tree stump, creating a makeshift ladder. His grandma Jodie watches on as Jake climbs the tree.
I did it!
She notes his problem-solving skills and determination as he stands proudly, arms stretched out and his navy flannel shirt billowing in the breeze.
I'm a bird.
Our only goal really is just so that way he can grow up and be happy and be able to live in the community and still be able to, read and write and do all the extra things that you need to do. Be a nice boy, a nice man as he grows up.
As for Jake's future,
When I grow up, I want to be a truck driver. Because then I can load my truck with a lot of stuff and then I can have confidence that I'm not going to tip it.
I really believe that Jake will be a truck driver. His dad is a truck driver. His whole life is around it. When he can get to go in the cabin and go on trips, that's where he is. But in saying that, he doesn't get out of education. So I do up little packs and he has to do things in the cabin as well. We don't call it school or anything. So are we learning today? And we're like, mate, we learn every day. We're learning all the time. There's so many trucks here, which he loves. And he will tell me about every single one of them that goes past. When the silos are filling up the trucks as well, he'll just, stand and watch that and tell me about the truck and what they're doing. And so he's got lots of areas that we can build on. And that's because then he wants to learn.